Greetings, petrolheads! Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. Today, I'm gonna be introducing a new model line for not Athena, it's Marina, and it's been a long time since I've gone back to this campaign. It's the Marina Flicker. It's a small mid-engined sports car, of course, and well, think of it as our answer to like the Toyota MR2, but obviously taken into a little bit of a different direction. This uses a body shell that's from the workshop. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but at the same time I couldn't find another small mid-engined body for the late 90s except for, you know, the one that was already available in the 80s, and that looks like an MR2. So we have a monocoque here from AHS Steel. We have transverse engine mounting. It is obviously mid-engined. We got the wishbones all around. We got fiberglass panels. And of course I went for the AHS Steel monocoque because carbon fiber is a little bit too expensive for what I have in mind for this thing. Right, design-wise, not everybody's gonna be a fan of it. Honestly, I sort of tried my best. I'm still not 100% satisfied with the looks of this, but that's also partly down to the kind of interesting shape of this body shell to begin with. Yeah. So it's not gonna be the prettiest contender for this class, but it will surely like blow your mind when it comes to how much performance you can get out of this car with just a 1.4 liter turbo engine. This is a 4-cylinder engine, dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. We have very good materials. We have a turbo. We have multi-point EFI with performance intake from per cylinder configuration, and we have a big exhaust. We have 210 horsepower. We have 152 pound-feet of torque, which is nothing to really brag about, but yeah. Now this gets a 6-speed manual gearbox with a geared limited slip diff. You get sports compound road tires, 255s on the rear to make sure this thing sticks to the road. And then you get magnesium rims, you get vented discs all around, you get a fully clad under tray, and you get sport interior, standard CD, and standard 90 safety. No power steering, but ABS and traction control. Standard springs, semi-active dampers, semi-active sway bars. And why is the ride height so high for this car? I don't know, it must be a bug, but in any case, we could give this thing active wing, but I felt like it doesn't do very much for this particular car. And then also it adds weight and it adds costs. So maybe not the best decision there. In any case, we have 36.9 drivability, we have 50.4 sportiness, we have 23.7 comfort, 24.4 prestige, 35.8 safety. We weigh 911 kilograms. That Porsche would like that number, but we make 210 horsepower and we have the grip because it's mid-engine. So 0 to 100 takes just 4.6 seconds. And a quarter mile takes 13.2 seconds. So, you know, obviously right off the bat, like from a standstill, this thing would be quick because it's got power and it doesn't have very much weight, and it's got the grip too. Later on, obviously, it will lose a little bit against like cars with 350, 400 horsepower. So just because it only has 210 horsepower. But what this thing really is going to be about is cornering. Now, I don't really have a reference for many of these tracks, so you know, obviously I could go and try and run this around the green hell, but again, this just doesn't have the power that you need in order to set a fast lap time on the green hell. This though, this is a track where I feel like it should do really well, because it's got a lot of corners. It's got a lot of like short straights where it won't lose that much time against like super high horsepower cars, but it'll have an advantage in that it can put all of its power down because it's mid-engined. Yeah, okay, so first of all, before we start the run, what is a good time here? Now, anything under 5 minutes is okay. Anything under 4:45, however, is really good. And anything around 4:30 is like really, really fucking fast here. So let's see. $439, that's actually, wow. Yeah, this is just as good down here as I expected it to be. Because it's light, it's nimble, it's got the traction. I mean, sure, you can almost certainly make this car drift. Because while it does, it may not have very much wheel spin, but it does have a limited slip diff, so you can probably make that happen. What is the top speed of this thing? 251. That's not bad at all. Also, the stopping distance is ridiculous for 1999. And let's set up the employees and factories, shall we? Is this going to be a limited production car? I don't think so. We need somebody who's good with monocoques. So that's going to be you. Then we also need someone who's good with suspension, like you. Then we need, you know, most of this is gonna go into like chassis and suspension. Because the engine in this thing is, or the, what was I gonna say? The drivetrain in this car is, sure, it's a key component to this car, but also it's, you know, not the most impressive thing we have out there. So let's grab someone. Yeah, let's grab you. All the other four are all good with either suspension or chassis, and that's what this car really is about. So as far as that goes, we need somebody who's good with dual overhead cams, like you. We need somebody who's good with turbos. And dual overhead cams. Perhaps take the inline 4 master as well. Yep, he's really good with bottom end and also with top end. Then somebody else who's good with turbos. Oh look, he's Austrian. Of course we're gonna take him. And then somebody else who's good with that. V8 Master, the economy expert. Yeah, sure, let's take that one. Full, of course, and then let's also put more in here. We need to choose at least a medium factory for this car. Are we gonna sell that many? It's like 36,000 a year that we're producing here. Yeah, probably not gonna be producing that many, if I had to guess. Yeah. And then... Oh, excuse me, we need more than 7 engines per day. We need more than 34 engines per day. Do we really want to make a large factory just for this engine that is like probably only gonna end up in one car? I don't think we want. I don't think we want that. We can't go with anything lower than medium here though. So we're gonna have to do this. Yeah, we have a little bit of a surplus here, and that would bring the price to just 25,000. Wow. And remember, that's today's money, so not inflation corrected. In 1999, of course, between 1999 and today, the inflation hasn't been, like, the inflation factor isn't as huge as it is between like the 60s and now, but yeah, I still think you would be at least at 30 grand. It should be more expensive than an Elise, but it should be less expensive than an M3. Yeah. I guess 30 grand for a car that does 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds is actually very, very good. It's a very good deal indeed. From as far as bang for a buck goes, this is actually in fact almost as good as a Caterham. But it is, you know, a proper car with a roof and a windscreen and, you know, full bodywork compared to the Caterham, which has none of those things. Yeah, so apart from the looks, which are certainly polar or certainly a little bit dubious, let me know what you think about this car. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.